Hello and welcome to this presentation on APA format. APA is the abbreviation for the American Psychological Association, and that organization has created their style in which they have guidelines for every part of a written paper. This is one of three main different types of styles. You probably have heard of MLA. You might have heard of Chicago or Turabian style. Each one of those basically serves the same purpose, guidelines for how to organize and set up a paper, but each one has their own guidelines. So in the teacher ed and the MAT program, we use APA style. You're seeing there a copy of the cover of the book. We highly recommend that you go ahead and purchase this book because you will be using it throughout your entire program with us. So the purpose of this series of videos is to walk you through the biggest guidelines or the most important areas that we want you to focus on. So before we do that, I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm just going to give you 10 seconds to study it. So I want you absorbing as many details in this picture as you can. All right, go ahead and study it. All right, so now I have some detailed questions for you. Go ahead and put this on pause and answer these questions. All right, so we have 6 questions. How did you do? Let's go back and see. There were 2 sharks right here. And one of the questions was, what kind are they? We have a great white and we have a hammerhead shark. Jellyfish color, an orange, orangish cream, salmon, any of those would have worked. Sea creatures by the hull of the ship over here. So we've got a stingray, you could say fish. If you wanted to say a sea turtle, a crab, they're all towards the front of the ship. How many crabs are there in the picture? There's 1, 2. And how many of the small gray, white, and yellow fish? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many of those 6 questions did you get right? And I do this with you to talk about the importance of paying attention to details. You have got to do that. And you've got to use your manual and your notes to be able to remember, because there are a lot of rules. And I don't remember them all. I have to go back and review. Oh, how do I do that? Where do I put the period? Is this italicized? Is this not? So make sure you focus on those details. In this first video, we're going to talk about the title page that includes the running head, how to set up page numbers, and how to do the abstract. I've also provided you the pages where you can find that in your APA manual. The APA manual is not a book that would be pleasurable to read from start to finish in one sitting. So what I do is, as I'm writing a paper and I'm like, okay, I'm working on the title page, I need to go back and refresh my memory on those rules, I can just head back to those pages. So let's go ahead and look at the title page. There are 5 main parts or elements on this. One is a title. Your title should be a statement of the main topic of your paper. APA guidelines say 12 words or less. You capitalize the main words and you center it on the paper. And what do I mean by main words versus the words that aren't capitalized? You wouldn't capitalize like in the middle of the title, the or for or of. You do capitalize always the first word though of the title. So if it's the, go ahead and capitalize that at the beginning. You also have a running head, which is a shortened version of the title, and we'll go more into depth in these. You will put your name as the author of the paper and your institutional affiliation, which would be University of La Verne. The author note, we have standardized this for all of the students in our program. So that you're not going to find that in the APA manual because we've customized that for us here at ULV. And then you put the date, and we only use the month, and the year. So let's look at those things on how it actually looks on a paper. Here is my title. You'll see all of the main words are capitalized, but or I didn't. Here is my name, my institution. This is the author's note. So this is what we have customized for our students. You have to pay attention to the capitalization. And obviously, depending on the class you're in, this number might change. But all the rest of that will stay the same. And then here is your month and year. Notice there's not a specific day. Let's go back up to the running head. You actually write the words running head. Notice that H is not capitalized. And then you're going to take a few keywords from your title. So usually I tell people your running head should be no more than 3 words because you don't want it going clear across the whole entire page. So it might be the very beginning of your title. It might not be, but go with what makes sense, that somebody can look at that and say, oh, okay, I know what this paper is about. And then notice that there's a page number on the title page. It's on the very same line as your running head, right? So sometimes people want to start page 1 on the actual body of their paper, but it starts on the title page. So on your running head, because this is an area that people get confused on, you do write running head. It's a shortened version of the title. The APA manual says max of 50 characters. It should be typed in all uppercase letters, and it's left justified. So you see here, there it is, all in uppercase, and I'm over here on the left margin. And it appears on every page. And let's go back, and this is the actual running head. So this is what appears on every page. The words running head only appear on your cover page. And just like the rest of your paper, it's written in Times New Roman. Not my favorite font, but that's what APA recommends. So if you're using a header on your paper to set up the running head, usually the default font is not set as Times New Roman. So you've got to go in there and change the default font. Right? Here's your sample. So yours, whatever your title is, put your name there. Don't put my name, put your name. And then the rest should be the same. So let's talk a little bit about page numbers. As I've already told you, they start on the title page. They're continuous throughout the whole paper. They're on the same line as the running head, and they're located in the upper right corner. Always, always, always. The abstract is, the reason for having it is it gives a quick summary of your paper. It's a paragraph between 150 to 250 words. It's on its own separate page. It has the title abstract, and that word is centered, but it's not bolded. And the weird thing about an abstract is it's written as one whole paragraph and there's no indentation. And we're so used to indenting that people want to do that. Let me show you an example. So this is going to be page 2 of my paper. Now I'm giving you another running head here. But notice how after the title page, I just have the words, right? Because this is my actual running head. Here's the word abstract, centered, not bolded, first letter capitalized. Then here is my one paragraph. Notice it's not indented. So this is going to give me an overview of my paper. So if you look at that, can you tell what this paper is going to be about? Hopefully yes, right? That's what the abstract should do. It's kind of like Cliff Notes, right? To, oh, okay, do I really want to read the rest of this? This tells me what the paper is about. So in this video, we've covered the title page, we've covered how to set up the running head, how the page numbers start on your title page and are continuous throughout your whole paper, and we've covered the purpose of an abstract and how it's set up.